This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Respect My Blueprint podcast. Of course, this is your host, your Blueprint Mastermind. This is the #1 show if you want to go ahead, learn, build, and scale your blueprint, okay? And guys, as you guys already know, we have a lot of different guests that come upon the show. We don't like to box ourselves in by any particular field. And I have a very special guest on today's show. This is a gentleman, not only is not the usual artist that we have on our social media influencer. We actually have somebody that's made it in the old school way, the traditional, conventional way of entrepreneurship, leadership. And I'm so excited and thrilled to have this gentleman on today's show, none other than Kehinde Thomas. How our visionary entrepreneur, leader, mover, shaker. What's going on, Kehinde? How are you doing, brother?
My brother, I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Same here.
How are you feeling today?
You know what? I mean, I'm driving here today, and in my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm going to a podcast.
You're still trying to take it in,
exactly,
right?
like, I'm going to go talk to Wes. And as I'm driving, two things came to my mind. Number one is this, that we're actually in a position today that if you want to do something big with your life,
you can do it.
That you can do it. And that social media is the way to go. And media, generally speaking, it's the way to go. So that was coming to my mind. Secondly, I was thinking, I'm like, man, I met Wes. I'm going on Wes' podcast.
and it's ironic. It's very funny how we met.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But I want to emphasize the first point you made, because look at the power of today's age. We're able to do this, have this conversation, right?
Just like that.
And this entire platform, the inspiration that had me build this right here actually stemmed from the George Floyd incident. And I share this. A lot of people are unaware of this, and I want to break, because if you think about that George Floyd incident, what really was the inspiring moment, or what was really the trigger of it, was the young lady who had the cell phone, the ability to record the occurrence, right?
Yeah.
Which 10 or 5 years prior to that ability would not have existed.
That's interesting.
So that's the power of independent media nowadays with social media. So how a one girl with the recorded cell phone was able to spur a movement, change the world. So therefore, that's part of what we envision here. So I wanted to follow up with that.
That's powerful.
But with that being said, let's start off, Kehinde, because how we met, I want to share a little bit of how we met. We have a mutual friend here, right?
Yes.
And our mutual friend connected us a few days ago and everything like that.
Yes.
And we had a chance to break bread with each other and find out. And I found out, right, during that short conversation there, how you've been doing this for a long time, bro.
Right. That's
so
right.
if you could share just a little bit, the resume of Kehinde Thomas, how'd you come up to this point?
That's interesting, by the way. Thank you very much, actually, for asking that question.
Right.
Let me go back first to Africa.
Wow.
Let me go back to Africa. I come from a big family. So over there in Africa, it's not like 2 or 3 kids.
Which country, by the way, in
Nigeria.
Africa? Nigeria.
Yeah,
So you're Nigerian.
I'm a Nigerian.
Wow. So when did you first come to this country?
I came here in 1989. Oh yeah, my accent doesn't sound like.
That's what I was gonna. You know what? You when you came to this country, a lot of our viewers wasn't even born. But go ahead.
That's crazy, isn't it? That's insane. But that's when I came.
Okay.
I came as an exchange student. That's how I came to this country.
Oh.
Back in the days. Yeah, back in the days.
As an exchange student.
As an exchange student, yeah.
Okay.
So I went to a college called Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. That's where I went to.
Okay.
But before then, though, something happened. Something happened before then.
Uh-huh.
So at the age of 7, my dad was driving to church, had a car accident, and died. On his back.
On his way to church.
On his way to church in the morning. So he died. Now think about this. I get chills every time I tell the stories. I get chills.
It hits you, right?
It's like it's in my vein. It's in my body. Just every time I tell this. My dad, of course, there's no insurance. There's nothing.
There's no
life insurance.
Right.
There's no language of mutual funds, bonds, stocks, real estate. That language doesn't exist. Not
estate planning, finances,
none of those.
None of that. Wow.
None in my
Which is
family.
so prevalent in our culture.
Of course, but think about it, okay? You got one side of town at the age of 7, 8, 9, and 10, they're speaking their language already. On the other side of town, that language doesn't exist. So who's got a competitive edge? Think about that for a moment. You can't compete. So I come from the background where that language doesn't exist. Over there is survival of the fittest. So now, no insurance, nothing. Then my mom had to try to raise 8 children by herself as a single mother in a male-dominated society. That was rough. Now I'm talking Africa back then.
That's what I was going to say. This is not USA. This is
Africa. The men call the shots. Just like in most other ethnic societies.
Culture,
the men
right.
call the shots. I watched my mom lost everything. At the age of 14, she was getting evicted.
Now, was your father already
My
passed
dad is
and
gone
everything,
7 years
right?
later. I looked at her because I just watched her because some guy was yelling. It's the landlord trying to collect rent. She couldn't make rent. She's crying. I'm crying. I said, Mom, I promise you I'm going to build you a house. I'm only 14. What house do you build at 14? Think about that for a second.
Exactly. Especially, like you say, you didn't understand the language that the
No.
other side knew at
Absolutely not. But somewhere, somehow, it clicked that you got to do something. So I never really have a teenage years. So from the moment I was 14,
You were forced to be a man.
I became a man overnight. So it's not like maybe I had a choice, let me take it easy. Or,
Right.
No, it was like, okay, I got to build a house. But what do you build at 14? But I had to do what I do best. So I go back, pick up the books, read the books, sharpen up the skills, with the hope that I get a scholarship as an exchange student to come to the States. And you will laugh at this one. I was actually going to be a Catholic priest.
What?
I'm not kidding.
So
This
I'm
is real.
assuming, okay, so you had a very strong religious
Yes, sir.
upbringing.
Correct,
okay.
correct. Because we're a Catholic church.
Okay.
I came, then went back, then came back, and then I'm like, you know what? I got to do something. So at college, it's funny. The coach saw me. My roommate, Ricky, big guy, the football guy, American football. I don't even know American football. All I knew was
You just know
soccer.
soccer, right?
So I'm like, why do you call this football? How you going to hold something and you call it football? It should be handball. It just makes no sense. I'm like, I have no desire for this. And I said, no, you should give it a shot. Okay. So I go and I just mess around with the ball. It didn't make any sense to me. It didn't kick like football would kick. It was just different.
The dynamics.
The dynamics, the
completely-
lays, it didn't make any sense. So my interest was not that big in it. But I knew that you could make money as an athlete. So I knew that. That
Right,
one,
okay.
I'm like, okay, what the heck? Give it a shot.
Let me give it a shot.
Then I ran into, there used to be this guy, he used to play for New York Jets, Curtis Martin.
The running back.
Running back.
Yes,
Oh, so
okay,
you
of
know, okay,
course
good.
I know.
Running
Yeah,
back,
I'm a
yeah.
sports fan now.
Okay,
Come
good.
on.
Running
Okay.
back, Curtis Martin. I met Curtis Martin's mom. That's correct. I go to eat at a restaurant. The mom saw me. We started having a conversation. And the mom's like, why don't you talk to Curtis,
Yeah.
about going to the NFL? I'm like, really?
Just like that?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll no problem. But are you ready for this? I called Curtis. I spoke with Curtis. Curtis asking me, what's your vertical jump? It's got some stuff I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's asking me stuff.
What's your bench press? What is it?
I don't know anything about those things.
Right.
I just want to play. So now I go in. So Curtis made a call. Then they called the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. So I spoke with a guy called Tom Modrak, football director of operations back in those days. He says, oh, no, come on down for a tryout at the, yeah, just like that. Come on down for a tryout at Three River Stadium.
Just off of a recommendation
Just off recommendation, I'm just in. So I go in. Just like that. I go in and everybody was there doing their thing. People were trying out for different positions. Running back, cornerback, receiver. You name them all. Everybody was doing whatever they were doing. I go in as a punter / kicker from playing
From football. Okay.
and then things were just moving along. Everything was looking great. And the guy that was before me, his name is Josh, because he just came back to me now.
Look at that. Okay.
I've been trying to remember this dude's name for quite a while. Josh
Right.
Miller, that's his name. That's correct. He had a terrible season. This dude was punting like 18 yards, 20 yards. It was
just bad,
It was
okay.
a bad season. Anybody that came after him was going to be good no matter who, you know.
Oh, okay. The competition was so
It was
good.
so.
All right.
When I got in and I'm punting, I'm going like 60 yards. I'm going, says, yeah, punting. I'm driving the ball, man. And then they wanted my hang time to be like 4.0. That's to keep the ball up there, to allow people to run all the way to the opposing end. I was doing more like a 3.2, 3.5. But everything looked good. It was great. Everything looked great. The next thing they're asking me, who's your agent?
Yeah, this is new. Now this is new language again. Now you're like,
I'm
what?
like, agent, yeah. Agent. Well, now, at this point, I'm already an agent because I already got my insurance license. I got my insurance license while I was in college.
Oh, because that's the reason why you even wanted to be part of the exchange program, because of the language that wasn't taught right. I see what you're saying.
Exactly, because I have a crusade to correct, to teach. That's why I said I want to help, to teach people how finances works. It'd be a passion, because when 3 meals a day was a struggle, holes in your shoe as a kid, when life is so rough, guys, I'm telling you, you look at kids around, I want to change them. I don't want them to experience what I experienced.
What you've been through. Yeah.
I don't want them to go through that pain. I want to help out. You know what I mean? That's where the passion came from. So anyway, to call the whole story short, I end up getting released with the Steelers because even before I started, I hyperextended my right knee. TV stations, everything was all there. I just wanted to make it so bad that I pushed it to the edge.
Overextended.
I
and
overextended. It was
really
not necessary. If I just kept where I was at, I was good to go. But
I really want to hone in on this point, because we're talking about competing at the highest level. Professional sports, competing at the highest levels. A lot of individuals dedicate their lives,
of course,
from childhood to be able to compete. Correct. You, on the other hand,
came from nowhere.
From the blessings of God.
That's true.
Sheer I want to say luck, but the blessings of God led you to build the relationship capital, meet someone, to have the opportunity to
actually do that
and be in the arena of the highest level of competition.
That's correct, yeah. It was an experience, though. I have to say, it was a very good experience. Back then, you had the Slash, your code, that still worked.
Right.
You had Jerome Bettis, the boss. You had the field. That was the era back then. So literally, it was a very good period. So,
and you never had any inclination when you came to this country to play sports?
Absolutely not. No desire. If any sport, it would be soccer. Because in my mind, I would kill them with soccer. And in my mind,
you're like, okay.
I was a captain in my high school.
Oh, so you was a pretty good soccer player.
No, I was a good soccer player. I was a very good soccer player. So for me, give me soccer, let's go.
Let's do it, yeah.
So when they say football, I'm like, let me teach these people how to play football.
Real football, yeah.
With no shoes as a kid, you know what I mean? Running around on stones and pebbles. That was what I was thinking. So it was very different. It was different.
Wow, that's it. Okay, so you had a brief NFL career experience.
Yeah, experience. Correct.
Experience. You had a brief NFL experience.
You know?
So now, obviously, it must have been humbling, but also disheartening.
Of course,
when it was like, damn,
it was.
That's cut short.
If somebody gave you $1 million or $2 or $3 and took it right back.
And just pull it right back from you.
Even before it hit your account. That's what it felt like. There you go. Hey, I'm ready to go. Let's go. You're dreaming, and then, sorry, you're on your own. It's like, what just happened? No, yeah, it was rough. It was very rough. That's why I got involved in the insurance business. Because the question was, where else can you make $1 million? Or $2 million. Realistically, legally. You know what I mean?
Legally, okay, yeah.
like where, you know what
There's
I mean?
other ways, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
That's right. So where? And then the lady said, why don't you Google which industry makes the most millionaires? So I Google. You know what it says? Finance. Insurance. I'm like, I want to make millions. If this is it, number one, I mean...
Let me go ahead and tap into it.
I didn't have to be convinced. And by the way, if you Google today, still, 20-something years later, if you Google today, it's still the same. Today, it's still number one. So when I do my presentation, I say, I haven't got to Google it, and it still comes up. Isn't that interesting? That's how I got involved in the insurance business. You know, and my goal was to build a house and then out. 5 years, I gave myself.
Oh, so this was just a goal here. Let me accomplish helping my mother build her home.
Build a house. And then let me really figure out what I really want to do. So it was just for me to make money, just build a house. Then what do I want to do? Then you get involved, the money gets good. that you
and
build
then
a
the
house.
spirit builds up in you of just,
It was
oh,
a
maybe this is my purpose.
it was a conversion. Like I just wanted to make money, then I got converted. So it was like attraction to making money to build a house for my mom. And then it went from there to this is making a big difference in people's lives.
You know what? It's funny. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I want to share a quick story because we also, I want to put the elephant in the room as far as you're involved. How would I want to put this? Because I want to make sure I don't put my foot in my mouth here, right?
Okay.
But the company you work for is also another high influencer.
That's correct. Yeah. Yes.
And for those that don't know, is my mentor that I've looked up to in building this platform, which I've shared with you as well, too, right?
Yes.
And this day and age, the reason why I say that, this day and age, especially with social media, instant gratification is such at an all-time high, that's right? Correct. And because you have someone who will possibly see a couple YouTube videos or take a couple courses, online courses, DIY courses, and things like that, and they consider themselves a professional. They consider themselves a life coach. They consider themselves an influencer. They consider themselves or having some type of expertise where they feel they could become overnight millionaires, right? Especially with crypto nowadays. I've mentioned a lot of, but again, you've come from the old school.
Very.
Where you have to put the time, dedication, and work in.
That is correct.
With that being said, so there's a clash in different ideologies here. So what do you feel like this new generation is feeling they should be able to go ahead and quote unquote skip the line? They should be able to have where you came across where it's really not that simple. How do you feel of the difference in the ideologies?
Okay. It's very interesting. So you have your millennial, right? So
which is me. I'm here. That one of them. Okay. All right.
it really is very interesting. Which is, by the way, the highest is 82 million of them. They are now the highest.
The highest population in the country, right? And growing.
And growing still. 82 mil. A generation baby boomers are 77 mil. My generation is Gen X. So we are 40-something.
That's the in between the baby boomers and the millennials.
Right. That's us right there. There is a different ideology along the line for every one of them, even down to the silent generation, which is the seniors. Big different in ideology. Think about it today. So, my son, for example. Okay. So he just turned 18, but by the time my son was like maybe 4 or 5, you hand a phone to my son. He's operating a phone like he was born with it. Even though he's never seen a phone.
No, that's a good point.
Think about that.
Yeah.
He goes, I get a laptop. I never taught him anything about computer.
They instantly, it's like they programmed in their DNA to automatically.
You follow me?
I'm following you, yeah.
By the time when I was growing up, to go on a computer, https it's another science by itself, just to log on. Black and white, you know what I mean?
I see. Good point.
So if you're looking at the different ideology, it comes down to this: that the old school style of being disciplined and making money built a sedimental toughness that is absolutely not replaceable. The new generation, okay?
I like that. Okay.
Yes, it's not replaceable at all. The new generation, what I call the techies, techie babies.
The tech babies.
So, think about it this way: you are faster. Everything you do is easier.
Information goes faster now, right?
There's what we call time inequality, which is better than money inequality. We talk about money inequality all the time. Right. By the way, we're the same. You're making this, you're making less. Okay, time inequality. Okay. Think about if you were growing up as a kid and you had to go hunt for your meal. You have to hunt for your meal, kill the prey, prepare the food, then eat. How long does it take? Maybe 6 hours. Today you walk into a restaurant in 5 minutes, you order your food, you in and out. Think about that. That means you got 5 more hours.
It's even quicker if you call DoorDash or Uber Eats now. I see what you're saying.
The tech baby millennial generations, they were able to compress time. They didn't go through the learning curve of the mental toughness. That is why hard times, create strong men. Hard times
create strong men.
Yes. And strong, that's correct. And strong men create what?
Good times.
That's correct, good times. And then good times create what? Weak men. If you look at that different level right here,
Wow.
the first group of set of people that have to deal with hard times, they are wired. They live longer. They're stronger. You know,
They can endure the
they
hardships.
endure more, the
Right.
pain. Like they can handle more because they are built tough. That's why, that's the fundamental difference between the millennial and Generation X, for example, or even the baby boomers, because they had to do it differently.
So with that being said, especially because we both know finance is not a sexy topic. Not only is it not a sexy topic, it's almost taboo.
Like we don't want to talk. It's boring.
Right. It's boring
Yeah.
because it's not sexy. It's not
Yeah.
boring to talk about. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, insurance, okay, credit.
Yeah.
Especially me
Yeah.
being in the finance field, I understand this. I have a very profound understanding of this, right?
Yeah.
So I want to hear your thoughts on it. We are in a field not only is not sexy, but necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's taboo, not afraid to, but it needs to be, it needs more awareness, right?
That's correct.
Within our, so you being in the insurance field and everything like that, right? And you becoming very successful at it.
Right.
How do you overcome those two barriers, especially in this day and age with the tech babies, like you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Because me, and I wanted your thoughts on this. I know for a fact tapping in, teaching credit,
Yes.
which credit I share with everybody, is the most important financial
course.
tool to possess in this country.
Of course.
A lot of us, when we migrate here, we don't understand that,
Yeah.
right? Until it's needed
Correct.
for our everyday day-to-day lives. So how do you overcome the aspects of being in a field that's not sexy
Mm-hmm.
and also being afraid to talk about?
By the way, I like this. I like this a lot. All right. I want you to think about it this way, okay? Anytime you talk about finance, okay, you talk about money or insurance, what happened? I have to remind you that you need to get your act together.
Oh shit!
Think
Say that
about
again. Say that again.
Anytime we
And
talk
it's-
about
and it's
finance,
sad. That's the first thing you gotta say.
you have to get your act together. Which means, imagine you're having a good time, okay? Or you've suspend all pains and everything. You're having a
You suspend
wonderful
everything.
Thomas, hey, by the way, let's talk about your credit, huh?
Oh shit!
Why do you want to talk about my 400? What's the problem?
That's the
you
first thing.
understand?
What's the problem
What's the
now?
problem?
Yeah.
Or insurance. It's like you're having a good time. Why do you want to talk about death?
Yeah.
What's your problem? So the point is
That
this.
is true. Wow.
So that is a psychological, a phenomenon behind finance. That is not just finance itself. It is the psychology and the effect of what it causes people to realize. So automatically, boom, they tune out. But you said it clearly. From the moment you were born till the day you die, you're not going to escape the subject of money.
Wow. Period.
It's not like
I feel like it's very irresponsible to not even have it as part of the forefront in your life.
you are, think about it this way, okay? For me, it is a curse and a disease to stay poor. And ignorance is married to what? To poverty. So think about it this way, okay? And for all the viewers and listeners, this is a point that is very dear to me, okay? And it's this, that the refusal to actually invest time, money, and resources into making yourself better, to understand finance, comes with a certain punishment. And that punishment is called destitution and poverty. And that punishment is a punishment that is worse than anything, because the best thing you have in life is called freedom. When you don't have choices because you're that poor,
You've taken away that freedom, the best thing that you had in your
the
life.
quality of your
Right.
life is just like the quality of any other existence other than human. It's bad. Now, having said that, right, let me bring it back home.
Okay.
So, the reason why people don't talk about finance, we just talk about that, but how do we make it sexy again? Think about that, okay? How? The traditional people in the insurance business and even in credit, typically, the traditional folks are older folks.
Yes.
So they're like
Yeah.
50, 59, 60, typically Caucasian, and what they talk about. So there's nothing sexy about that.
About that, because we cannot resonate.
No,
we
you
cannot
can't.
tap
Drive
into
a
it.
normal car, Toyota Camry. By the way, I have nothing against anybody driving Toyota Camry, but nothing big, nothing fun. That's their life.
That's how it is.
Come to
right?
the house, they meet the parents, they collect, they do all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Now, today, in the insurance and financial service, I have seen so many credit. You see them in their Lambo, in their Range Rovers, in their, you follow me? The houses, the mansions. Today, you can be in that business. Look at how you look. You're a good-looking guy. You follow me?
And you know why?
Yes.
You know, I want to follow up on this. And you're going down a great path here, and I want to take it back home, right?
Okay.
Us as black
Yes.
men, black people,
Yes,
black and brown skin, right?
Yeah.
We're behind 400 years.
that's correct.
Based upon and most people don't realize this, we suffer from post-traumatic financial trauma.
I agree.
Because the reason why I say is because if you think about it, when our early ancestors came into this country and everything like that, we were at the point where we built up this country through slavery,
Okay.
and we didn't have the opportunity to get into economics, the opportunity to get into finance.
Okay. Okay.
So when slavery was then abolished
Yeah.
and everything like that, we were given our freedom, we were 400 years behind the race.
For everybody else.
Think about it. If you're told to go ahead and slave, do labor, and at the end of your labor, go home, go to your hut or whatever, and your salvation is going to come in the afterlife.
Okay.
It was never,
Yeah.
hey, slave, and then maybe 2-3 years you're going to work to get $1 million. So fast forward to today's age. So we're talking 400 years of
Yeah.
generations, this being
Yeah.
ingrained in our DNAs as black and brown skins, right? Until we move into this day and age, right? Now we have our current generation of black and brown skin, right? The impacts now for them to be able to close that gap within the 4 years, for them to make personal finance sexy,
Yeah.
is you have to show the Lambos. You have to show the mansions, right? Because the past 400 years we were exposed into seeing, man, the athletes, our entertainers, they
Correct.
made it because they have Lambos.
That's correct.
They have mansions.
The image.
The image. You as the insurance guy, if you want to sell me, where's your
image.
Lambo?
It has to match.
Where's the Rolex?
Interesting. This is interesting. I didn't connect the dot like that.
If you really could share your thoughts on that,
Yeah.
and if you could unpack that a little bit, am
Okay.
I along the right mindset here?
I differ a little.
Okay.
Let me explain what I mean.
Okay.
The first human being, Homo sapiens, okay, human being, that walked the surface of the earth, stood up erect. Erectus. It's in a place called Tanzania, okay,
Okay.
in East Africa.
Okay.
From that moment going forward, men as we know today, black, white, purple, whatever the color is, eventually we become who we are today. But then the superiority of one race over the other was as a result of what? Technology. That's where that came about. Then when the slave trade situation occurred, and then of course there is a tremendous adverse effect of by the way, nobody can deny that.
The adverse effect of
So
that.
that's it, because if you subject a human being to a certain, environment with a certain narrative over a period of time, they will become that. That's
Period.
natural.
Okay.
However, here's the problem. Okay, and this is why I differ. That happened years and years ago. Do you know how long it takes to create a habit?
21 days, they said.
That is 21,
Uh-huh.
90 days for a long term. Okay? 90 days.
Okay.
So the idea of being able to let go, that mentality, okay? If you look,
Oh, I see where
by
you're
time
going.
and
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. Okay.
so it will happen is this: if I give you a choice of taking it easy or work harder, most people will take
take
it
it
easy.
easy.
So the narrative is the fact that it's an explanation that satisfies why I need to take it easy. As much so, let me go bust my behind and compete.
Okay. And that's a human nature right there. That's human nature, right?
By the
that's
way,
why,
I
right.
understand it. It's very, very
Right.
Now, having said that, though, here is where I think, and then I'll bring it home. Here's where I think that the divide actually took place, even down to the law in the country. up to, we're talking about maybe the last administration, or even Biden, actually, this current administration,
Right.
where they struck down, they actually had a law. I don't remember the article right now, where they gave a competitive edge. If you are a majority, a Caucasian male, and you're trying to buy a house, you have a satisfactory, whatever.
Right.
It just got struck down. I'm talking just recently.
Because
when
we had
Biden came in.
redlining in this country for some time. Right.
So it's ingrained in the culture. It's ingrained in society. It's ingrained. So it's a battle, and I get it.
Right.
I get that part.
Right.
But here's where I differ. Where I differ is this. We have a choice to self-educate.
More so now than ever.
We have a choice. Even back then, we still had a choice. We had a choice to self-educate. More today, of course, than before, but back then, even there was a choice.
Right, right.
The most important thing that you and I possess is our ability to continue to grow our knowledge.
That freedom you just tapped
So
into.
if you refuse to grow knowledge, I'm not kidding. So this is the reason why today it just that whole thing. Think about the generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where maybe a family. Think about this, okay? Take LeBron James for example.
Good example.
Look at his background, but look at who he became.
A lot of people don't see the hard work.
Look at Wayne.
Yeah.
Look at who he became. So you could have people like you and I, maybe generations upon generations, maybe it was on government welfare, or whatever the situation may be.
Right.
You follow me? But over the years, along that line, if that narrative continues,
Yeah.
it's not. You get my point here?
I get your point.
At some point, somebody have to break loose and say, hey, listen, I deserve better than that.
Let me break this cycle, this perpetual cycle that's been.
When we begin to understand the full responsibility of our lives, that's when our first freedom kicks in. That one is on us.
And it's fun, and it's especially this day, and me being a first generation
Yes.
American
Yeah.
here, I've also the one that's been able to be the first to be the
Break.
success story,
That's
right?
correct.
To break that cycle.
That's correct.
And everything. Right?
That is correct. That's correct.
And from what you shared shared up to this point, you've also shared that same. Correct me if I'm wrong. That same
Same
path
like-
as well too,
same thing
right?
with me.
You've been the first to be able
Same.
to break that cycle, right?
Same with me.
But now, okay, you're a father.
Yes. Yes.
You mentioned an 18-year-old, of a
Yes.
young black man
Yes.
entering this country, right? And so it's a very tough times
Yes.
right now, right? What is some of the blueprints that you would share with your kids right now? Which, by the way, how many kids do you have?
Two.
Two. Okay. You have the 18-year-old and
And a 21-year-old.
oh, so you have two older kids. Okay, the pamper days are over.
It's
okay.
done. It's done.
The pamper and the teenage days are done.
Done.
Okay, so they're grown.
Don't
okay.
say my wife though. My wife's thinking that miraculously we're gonna have a twin.
Listen,
I'm like,
Miss Thomas,
man.
listen. I don't say it's my fault. I'm not encouraging nothing here, okay? I'm just talking. Conversation right here, all right? So, as you're having two young kids
Yes.
growing up, adults,
Yes.
not kids, young
Yeah,
adults, right?
Yeah.
How do you teach them now in this day and age your principles?
Okay.
How?
You know what?
Because I have two teenagers, and these are my teenagers. As soon as they come home, hey, Dad. How was your day? It was all right. Yeah.
It was good.
The connection is just not there. Like, how do you do it?
Here's what I did.
All right.
Here's what I did.
Okay.
You know, I'm old school. I'm old school. So I'm old school of thought that you know how well a parents did in raising their kids.
Yes.
It's not how the kids turned out, actually, really, because we think about that. No.
Yeah, because you
It's
can put all your energy in a child and they can still sometimes.
It is their grandkids. That's how you can tell. That means that whatever I am as a parent, I'm able to duplicate that with my own kids, and they were able to duplicate that with their kid. That's how you prove that I'm successful.
The grandkids.
That's how you measure. That's how you measure.
That's the first time I heard that.
Yes. Because you say, how do I know that my kids actually carry my value? It's if my grandkids carry the same value.
Wow,
that means they're
that's
able to
dope.
duplicate that same
Everything
value.
you've taught them.
So that's it. My kids, I tell them this. I say, listen, I said, if you want to break loose in this country, you got to own your own business.
Period.
It's as simple as that. Because you have two choices. Work for someone or work for yourself. That's it. There's nothing. There's no gray area.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
Well, you're getting into a spicy topic here because I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts on a 9 to 5, or what's your thoughts about?
I have a whole spiel on that one. I said
boy.
literally because you can't really feel the sentiment here. I told my kids, you tell me what you want to do, I will support you. And if you want to go put all your hours into somebody else, I'm okay with that too. But I, as a father, have taught you because I own my own business. You see how I hustle, so I bring them to work with me. When they were like my daughter was 3-4 years old, she was coming to work with me. She would sit under the table. You know what my daughter is now? My daughter is actually a supermodel in New York. My daughter is doing
her thing,
doing her own thing. She was on Vogue last month. She Telemundo. She's
shots out.
Oh, okay.
Shots out.
She's everywhere. Flew to Turkey, the fashion, New York fashion. She's everywhere.
Phenomenal.
Why? Because
awesome.
Guess what? Because she made a decision that she wants to do what? She wants to run her own business. My son, he's so tall. My son just turned 18. My son is 6'4".
Big kid.
And he's a basketball player.
That's
his passion. He wants to play so bad in the NBA. That's what he wants to do. I said, okay, after the NBA, what do you want to do? So Daddy, I don't know. I said, NBA is not forever.
Right.
What do you want to do after
Figure
NBA?
out, yes.
I have been planting. By the way, he's not in the NBA. He's not even in college. But you see how I'm long-term? So
because most 18-year-olds, they still figuring themselves out, too, and everything like that.
I made him think 20 years ahead.
See, now you're talking crazy to this generation. You can't tell kids, hey, think 5, 10, 15. No. I know a friend that just made $200,000 on NFTs last week. So it's crazy.
No, that's what I'm doing. So my daughter has a 10-year plan. My son is talking 15-year plan. So there's nothing like I want them to see, anticipate, like years down the line. I want them to be initiators, not reactors. I want them to initiate their lives, how they want to live. These principles that I've taught them, I'm going to see. If I get to live to see the grandkids, I'm going to see if the kids are going to do the same thing.
Pick up the same values and principles, right?
But I know that it has helped me a lot tremendously. Because of that, here's a good effect. They're still going to be on phone and everything like that, but their value proposition shifted. It shifted. Because now they're thinking, okay, I got to play my game, I got to do this, I got to do that. I got to do this. Oh, shoot, you know what? They have so much stuff going on in their head of things that ordinary people don't think about because they're thinking about the fact that I want to own my own business. My son got in trouble for that. So I had to pull a break.
Trying to build his own business.
As a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, he was going to school.
Hustling.
Telling the little girls to make bands for him. So the little tiny girls made the bands. He
was a little pimp early then.
So he will collect the bands, then he will sell the bands. And he gave them nothing. So this principal called me one day. I'm like, what's going on? I go into the principal, he's there. I said, what's going on? Yeah. What happened? Well, your son was making all these girls get the bands. Then he will sell them. He's not even giving them $1. The girls are no longer doing their homework. Everybody go home and they say, hey, we're making bands for Gracie. Who is Gracie? So I'm like, son, I'm talking about entrepreneurship, but take it easy.
Yeah, hold on, we don't run slave labor shops over here now.
This one will take you to jail. Yeah. This is not what I'm talking about. So I had to recorrect that.
Yeah, shift them a little bit. Hold on, this is how it goes, son. Right.
But this is how I treat them.
Okay.
I talk to them like adults when they were kids.
And of course, now, I'm glad that now we're moving along here now, right?
Yeah.
So now we're in 2023.
Yes.
2023, right?
Yes.
Okay. You, especially with economics, politics, society is nowadays and everything like that. And I know in your field, especially since COVID has really brought an explosion in the insurance
100%.
And everything like that. So do you feel in 2023 that there's still an opportunity that the pie is ripe for life insurance? Is there other things that you're looking to tap into? Because again, insurance is not sexy. I'll tell you, if you come into my house and we having a good time. You say life insurance, man, kick him out, bro. Like, get him out of here. Like, for real. I'm drinking right now. He wants to talk about, you know what I'm saying, fixed term, and I ain't trying to hear that right now. You feel me? So in 2023, is that still the career choice? Is that still the objective, or do you want to get into teaching or mentorship?
By the way, thank you for asking this, because this is very important. 2023 is going to be a tough time for most people in this country.
A lot of say the recession is coming. The worst is not here yet.
Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO
of JP Morgan,
Chase,
right? Said
the guy controls $7 trillion of JP Morgan Chase assets. So when he talks, America
you have to listen.
Everybody that talked. Everybody is telling us the recession. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. All the numbers tells us that recession is coming. So that's why you see all the layoffs already taking place already.
50,000, Facebook, Amazon.
11,000. Amazon just increased theirs too to 20,000. So people laying off left and right. Here's the thing. Next year, if you don't have your seatbelt on and think to anticipate, a lot of people are about to experience something they've never experienced before.
The last time we experienced this was 2008.
That's
the
correct.
Crisis,
07, 08. But it's going to make 07, 08 look like chicken. Because of the numbers. It's not me talking. It's the numbers.
Do you really feel dire times are ahead of us this year?
Just look at the stats. The stat tells us from real estate to everything. Where is the role of insurance? Are you ready? There's never been a better time. It's a short window, by the way. It's a very short window. The old insurance is if you die. That's old insurance. Okay. You know the new insurance now? Stuff like infinite banking, where you use insurance to establish your own bank. Like using life insurance for your own bank. Fund yourself. Send kids to college. You're operating a bank.
You said, whoa, you dropping bombs right now, man.
But this is what it is today. It's innovative. You know how Apple have 2.0 and today we're 14 point something software updates? Insurance updated so much. People are still operating like the old type insurance, like before Jesus was born. If I die, no, today, like you're using insurance, you have life insurance, retirement plan. You have all kind of stuff going on. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
No taxes. So
tax
you
mitigation.
It's a zero tax. Section 7702 Internal Revenue Code treats life insurance as a tax-free investment if properly structured. People are running with this. There's no tomorrow. Secondly, check this out.
Okay.
If you sue me, right? Typically, if I lost, what happened?
You lose your...
I got to pay.
Right. You have to pay whatever the judgment is.
Good luck collecting from a life insurance policy. Because your money in your life insurance policy is what? It's asset protected. It cannot be touched by a lawsuit. That's number two. Do you know what's going to happen next year? Lawsuit's going to be like when people are feeling pain, they're looking forward to getting money.
They get quick money.
They're going to find the attorney is hungry, the lawyer is hungry, everybody's hungry, go to work. Any little thing, people are going to do anything just to get money.
The opportunists come out.
Your money in a life insurance policy cannot be touched. There's only one exception. Uncle Sam, if you owe IRS money, so they'll go anywhere.
Yeah,
but everybody else, they cannot touch your money.
Good luck.
Number three, you are able to move money in and out of your life insurance policy.
Listen, if you're having a hard time understanding how credit works, or you want a better understanding of how to boost your credit, you definitely want to check out Uptrend Credit on learning how to leverage your credit to hit your goals. Now, Uptrend Credit is an easy-to-use credit monitoring platform that's utilized to help close the wealth gap with the right resources in helping you doing so. So definitely check out uptrendcredit.com to see how you can help stay on top of your financial goals. Wait, hold on, wait. I never knew that. So wait a minute. So if you have money in life, you can pull it out and
I think he understands. Okay, ready for this? My daughter goes to this very expensive college in Manhattan.
Okay.
You know, I hate the price, but it is what it is. Okay,
like,
I hate it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's $100,000 a year.
Wow.
But I want to think about this for a second, okay?
Okay.
You could go into a life insurance policy, pull the money out. You're good. You could pull the money back. If I won a lotto, guess what I could do? I can put the money, I can dump it into my life insurance policy. You ready for this? It grows with interest, and I don't even get tax on the money. Do you know what the doctors are doing right now? They're all using life insurance policy for retirement. Business owners, life insurance policy for retirement. Are you ready for this? Let me give you the last piece. This is good. Remember a guy, O.J. Simpson, back in the days? O.J. Simpson.
Right. Everybody know O.J., right.
So, of course, the first incident, okay, hey, you killed your wife, etc., etc. Right. Okay, you were free Johnny Cochran. If the gloves doesn't fit, you must acquit. Okay, get it. Then you go to civilian court, right?
Right.
And it's $33 million charge. The guy says, I don't have no money. I said, but you're O.J. Simpson. But I have no money. But you're O.J. Simpson. You were the face of Hertz in the renter. You were NFL. I have no money. Ready?
Yeah.
Money in the NFL pension cannot be touched. No lawsuit can touch that. Money in his life insurance policy could not be touched. Hello. So today it's not about if I die anymore. That's old school.
That's right.
So 2023, there's going to be more explosion in life insurance because the COVID one, there was an explosion because of living benefits. So people are alive, they got sick, they got diagnosed, insurance company cut them a check. But they are alive, they didn't die. But it's their life insurance policy. It's called living benefits.
Oh,
so it's explosive.
Right.
We send checks out, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. And these dudes are still back in at the gym lifting weight. They're healthy now, but they collected. Yeah, but that's... It's a type of life insurance with living benefits. So today, it's no longer like this thing. It's a lot of people, even in crypto, I notice it, when they convert their money, where they don't put their money into now? Infinite banking. Yeah. If that FTS guy had put money in this thing, they couldn't touch his money.
Guy, yeah.
You couldn't touch his money. Yeah. That's why life insurance 2023 is even going to be more expensive because in a recession time, in hard times, for whatever reason, it goes up.
That's wild because you're saying life insurance have changed on his head to not just being like the old, like now it's
the new
variety.
It's the new thing. It's a new thing.
It's almost a necessity.
It's a necessity, but not only that too. It makes you richer. So you get wealthier. Think about it. If you have $1 million, you have to pay tax. If you have to pay tax, you lost 300,000. If you don't have to pay tax, it's $1 million. Think about that for a second. I put the money out for a doctor who gave me, I think, $288,000, and I dumped it in for him. That 288 is almost 400,000 now. It's just sitting there. It's
growing in interest and
zero tax. And then the homes. Listen, I can go on. We don't have it. I don't know what to tell you, but this is crazy stuff. The insurance I do today is not if you die. That's not the insurance I'm doing actually. Majority of my insurance is infinite banking driven. It's life insurance retirement driven. It's some kind of executive bonus driven. It's business owner like you driven. It's different. I'm not spending, don't get me wrong, I do everything, but majority of my time is not spent on term policy or
the boring traditional. This is the other things that can help this your quality of life.
This one is sexy. This is very sexy. I was at LA Fitness. Okay, I'm walking out with this, so I'm running, right? And this guy's running so fast beside me, I don't know who the heck this guy is. I'm like, who is this guy? Right. Because I've never seen him, but in the iPod, he was having such a good time. So I'm crazy competitor. I'm like, I'm gonna compete. So I'm beside
let me start speeding up too.
So
right?
I'm running like him, right? I'm like, I give myself 2 minutes. If this dude doesn't stop, I'm gonna jack this thing up. I'm gonna scale him. That's what I'm saying, right? So 2 minutes later, he's still going fast pace. So I go all the way to 10. I'm like sprinting. He just looked at me, just continue. 2 minutes after I mentioned I'm hyperventilating. I can't.
You can't go no more, right?
I did what Will Smith. It's listen, you gotta take my dead body out of this traffic. I ain't stopping, right? 2 more minutes later, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm out. I can't take it anymore.
You tapped out. Boom, that's it.
I'm like, I got to stop. I'm about to press to stop. He stopped before I stopped. I'm like, in my mind, I won. Now, think about this. I'm crazy. He doesn't know I'm competing with him. I created a competition in my head. I'm competing with him. I'm happy because I feel like I beat him in a competition he knows nothing about. Think about this, okay? So he comes, I'm like, who are you? He said, what kind of question is that? He said, you could ask me what's my name. I said, no, but who are you though? I've never met you here before. So he tells me his name. We talked. We became friends.
Right.
He got diagnosed. When he came to my office, got insurance policy for $500,000. He said, I don't need it, but I'm going to get it anyway because no, we're friends. So you're doing business with me, I do business with you. He got diagnosed with cancer. Young guy, Memorial Hospital. October last year, they gave him till December to live.
Get the heck out of here, bro.
Last year. So I said, listen, you're the only guy. I said, listen, you have access to $400,000 because they give you 80% of your life insurance policy while you're alive. So they'll cut a check and they'll give him a check. I said, what do you want to do? I can send you a check for $400,000. I said, no, I don't want it. I said, why? I said, I want to go to my wife. I want to go to my kids. I'm like, wow, that's legit. You don't see guys like this. Normally, you ask people, say, what do I sign?
Yeah, let me get all my money.
They're
Right.
Like, they want to get everything. March, guess who called me? The same guy.
The same guy.
I said, whoa, he beat cancer. Completely. Not only did he beat cancer, so I said, you're the only guy I know that refused to take $400,000. He says, I refuse to take. I said, yeah. He says, what do you mean? I said, you're the only one I know that refused to take $400,000 living benefits. He said, you offer me $400,000, and I said, no. I said, yeah. He says, when? I said, you were in the hospital. That's what you said to me. Go to your wife and he said, let me clear my throat. I love my wife. I love my kids, but doggone it, I want my $400K. I said, what happened to all this stuff? Hey, I want to go to my wife. I said, it wasn't me talking, it was the drugs they put in me. He collected his $400K. This guy's buffed. He's stronger than me.
Look totally healthy as an ox.
He got paid $400K. Imagine if additional $400K just show up in your account. Think about that. His life is kicking. So that's life insurance today. That's my point. So it's not like if I die, it's old school. It's different.
No, this is something that not only you could take advantage of as you're living, but utilize as a mechanism to improve your quality of life, whether it's financially, taxes.
That's the point. That's the point. So today,
you know what? And I hope a lot of the viewers today got a lot of gems from today's discussion, which I want to ask. There's two more questions. I know we want to wrap up with this. You're so much of a sharp individual. I want to ask you this question. What are your thoughts on the state of post-second higher education in this country? Because you just mentioned how your daughter's going to a very expensive school in Manhattan, right? I'm not a believer in college.
Okay.
I dropped out 6 times, to be exact. Literally, I dropped out 6 times. Yeah.
6 times?
6 times, yes. Check the transcripts. Yes, I just don't do college, right? And especially I feel like nowadays, because back then, nowadays, it was very easy to get into college. Now it is the same thing now, but nowadays the rise of tuition.
Yes.
And how college has changed, especially since the pandemic. A lot of fields are being able to offer virtually, things like that. And more importantly, with the explosion of the internet, you can now build a profession or career by self-educating yourself, be a mentor or joining a course online and things of that nature, right? With that being said, what is your thoughts of the direction of education, Ivy League schools, colleges, rising tuition costs, but the value is truly not that right?
By the way, this is a very short answer. I don't believe in college.
There you go.
I will explain why. You're talking to a guy who has a first degree, second degree, PhD. You're talking, so I have all this.
Right.
But I don't believe in college. What is the purpose of college? The purpose of college is to teach you how to think. That's the whole purpose of college. Is to teach you how to think. So then you end up with what? With a profession. Think about it. You want to be a doctor. What the hell am I taking dancing class for? You know, think about all this, okay?
Okay, right.
Because college has become commercialism. It's all about profit. Yep. And today, it's not the value of education today. It's no longer the same. So think about it. You're a business owner. I'm a business owner.
Right.
Think about this for a second, okay? You go to school. You drop $100,000, $200,000, or whatever that is, okay?
Right.
And then you come out. They never taught you anything about entrepreneurship. They never taught you anything about all this stuff. So you come out with a student loan that you could barely pay.
You could barely pay, right?
So for the next 10 or 15 years, you're indebted to that student loan. Then you come to work. You barely know what the heck you're doing. So the guy that went to become an entrepreneur from the get-go is running circles around you, make more money than you. Guys, look at the richest people in the world.
Most of them are, if not,
there's no college degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're dropouts.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. I told my kid, I said, listen, if you want to go to college, it's great. It's your choice. But 100%, my daughter dropped out.
She even
After the first that's $200,000 she dropped. I almost killed her.
Hold on, we need to second guess this a little bit, right?
But I didn't have too much. I didn't have a problem. I didn't, because she's pursuing what she want to do. No, son, no problem. I want to go to the NBA. It's a requirement you go to college. From college, after 1 year, then you could. No problem. But I am very free will when it comes to college. 100% free will on that.
Right.
Because the value is no longer the same. It's all about money. That's it. If that's the case, I might as well go teach how to make money as an entrepreneur. Why bother going to spend 4 years in a classroom?
That's what I've always, especially nowadays, again, with the explosion of the internet, I just, and college has also become ingrained in politics now.
That's correct.
Everything like that.
That's correct.
And which, first of all, I want to say society, whether it's entertainment, media, academics, and everything, is being involved in politics now, and especially more so over the past election and everything. So, as school is getting more into politics and everything like that, and society is getting into politics and everything, do you see that there's a hope? There's a hope for the future generation.
I don't think I understand the question. Future generation regarding politics?
And regarding in just the direction of higher education.
Oh, okay.
Do you feel like, because nowadays, and again, we share a mentor, a common mentor.
Yes.
And because I don't want to say it on the show, but
Right.
he shares a lot of the same ideology too, and everything.
Correct.
And a lot of the liberals and the progressive and let's just say the Democratic side has deeply ingrained themselves into academia.
Yes.
Even to the point they're teaching the kids,
Yes.
the professors are teaching the kids to lean on more of this side.
That is
of
correct.
everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you see, and me, by the way, everybody know I'm a libertarian. I don't like either side. I
Okay.
think they're both corrupted.
Yeah.
What? How
The
do
future.
we? Yes.
Let me put it to you this way. Back in the days, the people that actually went into politics, they were wealthy people. Back
Okay.
in the days.
Right.
So you will go in there because you're going to serve.
Your constituents.
You're going to
actually
serve your
do
constituents.
something,
So you were not hungry for money. You were going there because you want to serve your constituents. You want to take care of your people. That's where you went. Today, what happened with politics?
power hungry.
Power hungry, money grabbing.
Yeah.
Everything is
Shifted.
Completely shifted. Now, coupled with that is the fact that today, with that higher education we just talked about, with the future of our children, they're given the choice. They want to go to college. There's a reason why in America,
the college rate is starting to rise.
They wouldn't go.
Right.
Here's my prediction. My prediction is this, that our country will get to a point, it's called a point of critical analysis, where you make a decision for or against something. Everybody get there. It's called a T-road. When you get there, you either go right or you go left, but there is no other option. We're approaching that territory. When we get there, there's a very hard
that
decision.
critical analysis.
It's
right?
called critical junction of analysis. When we get there, a decision for or against have to happen. And my prediction is this, that we're going to get to a point that our children and the future of our children is actually going to be very bright, because in this generation of ours, or right behind us, we're going to get to that point, and they will make a decision out of what? Out of necessity. And when that happens, it won't be, oh, by the way, you were 4 years in college, you have a doctorate. They won't give a crap. They're going to want to look at you, okay, who is Wes? What has
Who
Wes?
are you?
Who
Yeah.
are you? What's your family look like? How do you raise your kids? What did you do for your community? They want to know the human being in totality. And then you will get elected over the guy with PhD 10 times over. But we're not there yet. So our pain is still coming. We have to go through the valley first to get back to the mountain. So we still got pain coming.
As we both discussed and everything.
The pain, we're not there yet. So in the nearest future, I still expect a very rough and tumble political climate, by the way, all around the world too. In the future.
Yeah, we see it everywhere in the news. That's what's going on.
There's
right.
a debate between capitalism and communism right now, with Russia, China on one side, Korea, and then with America, Europe on the other side. So the debate, and now we're about to see.
Because we have a segment that are trying to diminish capitalism.
That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point. Because we're about to have a paradigm shift that we've never experienced since America became the only superpower after the Second World War. and we remain as the only one, we rearrange the world according to our own likings. And now, for the first time, China came like
growing,
a mountain
yeah.
lion because they took our technology, they took everything we have. They literally, they reduced communism, and then they brought into technology. And then look at what China did with the Beltway around the world. Look at what China is doing in Africa. Look, China is moving so fast, and they're shifting things around that with them, in cahoot with Russia, in cahoot with other countries of the world.
The influence is growing.
Communism influence is growing. For the first time, we may actually have a debate between capitalism and communism.
You think so? Because this didn't happen since the missile crisis and then Russia.
We're approaching that now.
Wow.
We are approaching that because the other guys are not poor anymore. They're not. They have money just like we do. So now,
they have an argument.
money talks, bushy walks. So they have money. So now it's a question like, okay, what do you want? What do you want to do? So we are approaching that territory.
You know what? Final question.
Yes.
Before you, if you could share with the world
Yes.
right now, what is moving in 2023?
Yes.
What is one secret for them that your typical entrepreneur should build as far as building their blueprint? What is the one thing you want to share with everybody as far as the ingredient they need to build their blueprint in 2023?
I love this because our mentor
Right.
have been talking about this, and it's like,
Right.
they're preparing us for all of this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Number one, we still believe that you need to keep your credit in order. We still believe that. Because without credit, you really can't do much if you don't have the cash. We believe that.
Right.
Number two, we believe that America is going on sale next year. And if you have cash,
America's going on sale next
when I
year.
say sale, I'm talking like, think about it, okay? Look at Patty's watch. Patty's watch is like $25 million watches. They are selling those things now for $15 million with a discount of $5 million, $10 million. We've never seen anything like that before.
yeah.
Baseball cards are going for, look at what they're going for right now for token. Like real estate. So America is going on
for
sale
sale.
next year. So if you like, this is not the time to go buy your Rolls Royces and big ticket item. Pause. Sit on
It's gonna
cash.
okay.
Next year, go buy your assets that's going to appreciate. So as an entrepreneur, you're always what? Most entrepreneurs struggle.
You take the risk.
For the
right.
first time, you get to play offense next year. If you're smart. If you're smart, you can play offense next year. When most people are receding, you play offense because now the odds are to your favor. Next year is the time to play. Yeah. Because another 3 to 5 years later, guess what? You're back on top. Next year is a good year to play offense for those who plan it. So that means you put money away, credit is tight, you can acquire more assets, you buy more, things are going for sale, you're picking it at a low discount rate, you wait for 3 to 5 years, you emerge multiple seven figures. All entrepreneurs should play offense. And if they're not playing offense, right now they have no money, go borrow money. But don't be stupid.
Yes.
Borrow money, keep money. Just park it to the side and wait till the middle of next year.
For that opportunity.
For the opportunity to come so you can pick things up that is going to liberate you. So that's the blueprint for 2023, the year to play offense.
You know what, guys? Listen, there's going to be plenty of garage sales around America.
That's
Make
right.
sure you guys have the money to participate. Kehinde,
Yes,
my
it's a pleasure.
God, brother.
It's a pleasure.
Okay,
Yes.
first of all,
Yes.
I usually say this to every guest, and it's customary, but this is one of the few times and no shots to the previous guest if you're watching this, but this is the one of the few times I truly mean this. Can we have you back on the show, bro?
Absolutely.
It would
enjoy
be
this.
an honor, yes, because
enjoy this.
this was a very stimulating conversation. A lot of our viewers were able to learn a lot today.
Right.
A lot of the viewers here, they may have, okay, oh, y'all ain't talking spicy, y'all ain't talking crazy, nobody got slapped. No. This was actually a high-level discussion, which I hope all of our viewers was able to pick up a lot of the gems today. I know the comments are going to be flooded. So that's why I want to bring you back to answer some of these follow-up questions, because what you dropped today in the world of insurance and how it could actually uplift and make your quality of life better. Because most people have the mindset that life insurance, that's a death product. That's a product in the afterlife. I don't want to be talking, but this is something I could use, take advantage of now, and it could benefit me throughout my life,
correct.
let's have a conversation.
That is correct.
Let's have a conversation.
This life and the next life. That's right.
Let's have a conversation. With that being said,
Yes.
go ahead if you could share with the world how they can follow you on social media or if they can meet with you, and also let everybody know, last but not least, what you have special coming up for 2023. Go ahead, brother.
All right, thank you. On social media, on my IG Instagram, it's Kehinde10, which is KEHINDE 10, Kehinde10. So you'll find me on IG, and just follow me. Definitely trust me. And please let me know that you're following me from Blueprint, so I know exactly, okay? And secondly, on Facebook, you can find me. Just put there Kehinde Thomas, KEHINDE, and then Thomas. You will see a few other Kehinde Thomas there, but trust me, you will see me first.
That's the main one we need, the first one, right?
You always see me first on that one.
Okay.
You know, so on Facebook, on IG cover, on LinkedIn, you'll find me, Dr. Kehinde Thomas. You'll see me on LinkedIn. And if you want to reach me directly, as a matter of fact, I do not mind at all. It's 954-478-4498. Again, it's 954-478-4498. When you text me, preferably, please let me know it's from Blueprint so that I can connect the dots to West. But with that said, my plan for 2023, very simple. 2023, I am going to play offense like I've never before. I've been planning this since 07, 08.
Love it.
So when 07 hit, I say never again.
Never.
Because I got hammered in 07 and 08. I lost $3 million of my own cash, my own money, not the banks. So I said, okay, no problem. So I am going to go through a recovery.
Period.
And the insurance, because I have insurance, that just kept me stable. And I recover. No bankruptcy, nothing. Now check this out, okay? So all this time, guess what I've been doing? Planning, because I know that real estate is in a 10-year circle.
Right.
15 most. Up, down since 1800. So I know it's coming back. So I have strategically planned to acquire properties like when these things happen. So I know in the middle of 2023 and so on and so forth, I know I'll be looking to sell individual, like maybe commercial properties, residential. I'm more interested in commercial more so than residential. But I'm going to play offense in 2023. Wow. My plan is to make sure 2023 is the best year of my life because it's a very short little window. I don't know when 2023 is going to come back again. So when 2023 comes, I'm going to play offense and wait for another 7 to 10 years after. Remember, long term. When you come back, when you emerged, your 1 million becomes 25 million.
Wow.
That's what's going to happen. That's 2023. In the world of insurance, I plan to be exceptionally dominant because I'm now going through your head. I'm going to go into a platform, where I can now have a studio, where I can talk and just educate on insurance 24/7. And I know that is going to change the game for insurance. And I want to give back. Because there's a lot of people that need this education. They don't know these things. They're doing things the old way. They're getting cheated. People are lying to them. Because of lack of knowledge, they're losing money left and right, front and center. And it's not right. It's not fair. But nobody's educating them. Nobody's reaching out to them. So all of those people, I want to be able to have a platform where it's not even driven for me to make money. I can just give them
It's more of the goodwill.
Just give them education on what they need to do. Go to Acom, for example. You know how you round up your dollars, the cents in the banks? Oh, by the way, it's 80 cents, you have 20 cents. You can round up stuff into an investment. So you sign up, and every single time you buy something, 20 cents, 30 cents, it's like it roll up.
Put it into an investment.
You don't have to pull it up. They just do it, or they run it up automatically for you. You don't even see it. At the end of the year, you're like 400, 500. And 5 years later, you got about $5,000. Crazy stuff like that.
It's free money.
And they're investing for you on your behalf. The people don't know these things. You don't need big money to start these things. But people don't. I want to bring education to people so that they can be financially free. Because when you have money freedom, my goodness, man, you reverse aging. Life is good. Because you have options. When you eat well, you even
you feel better.
You feel better. I mean,
you feel better. I've been on both sides of the fence, and trust me, there's a psychological, emotional, spiritual effect of being destitute and also being financially free.
There you go.
Big difference. I don't care what anyone says.
So education is a big thing. Financial education is a big thing for me. So next year, I'm going to be doing a lot, of this. That's my commitment. So I just educate and play offense.
I love it.
Wes, it's a pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure is
It's a
all
pleasure.
mine. Listen,
You know?
ladies and gentlemen, this was again sincerely one of the dopest episodes we've definitely had on the show. Listen, Kehinde, he has dropped his phone number. The first guest to drop his actual that shows the high level of commitment, guys. If you reach out again, just text Blueprint, so therefore he will know that you are one of the viewers and the connection will be made. I will also make sure that Kehinde takes care of you guys, so please reach out to him. His social media, his contact will all be in the bio, guys. Listen, guys, check out the episode on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, and everything like that. And also, if you love the show, check out some of our previous broadcasts as well, too. And as always, guys, we are going to bring you that blueprint, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
Peace. I like that. I like that.